Okay, calling the meeting to order. Who would like to read the mission statement?
I'll go ahead and read it.
Okay, go for it.
We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in a greater self-confidence and personal growth.
All right, thank you, Jim. Now I will, let's see. Has anybody heard from Eric?
No, I sent him a text message and he didn't respond to it.
What about Greg?
And Greg was going to try to make it, but he had to haul some calves this morning.
Ah,
So I told him I would do his job as timer.
okay. And Beth was supposed to be our Toastmaster. Who would like to fill in for Beth?
I'm going to assume that she's just going to be late and I can do it until she gets here.
Okay, that sounds good.
All right.
All right, I'm going to turn it over to our Toastmaster, Darlene, until Beth gets here.
All right. Well,
Okay.
thank you, fellow Toastmasters. Joke of the day. My grandson loves to make up jokes. And he made this joke up. He didn't read it anywhere. He just came up with it all on his own. It's kind of a boy joke. So the question is, do trees poop?
Okay.
Okay, now the problem is for me to remember the punchline. Jim, do you remember the punchline? I can't think of it right now. I thought
Yes, they do. They poop number 2 pencils.
yes. Right.
Good
Jim,
one.
I believe you have the word of the day for us.
Yes, so word of the day is minion. A minion is someone who is not powerful or important, or who obeys the orders of other powerful leaders or a boss. The kingpin has a group of minions to run his errands, actually, to run his errands with an S. So I will put that in the chat. The word of the day is minions. Sometimes I feel like a minion to someone I will not mention their name. If it's easy to be a minion, but one thing I find that's really good, Toastmasters dissolves that minion personality or that minion behavior because it gives us the ability to be leaders. And we no longer become minions. We become a boss, or we become a leader. So the word of the day is minion. If you don't want to be a minion today, say the word minion. Of course, I'm counting how many times I said, even though it does not count for winning the word of the day. And again, I put it in the chat. Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster.
The word minion, there's a cartoon character that is called a minion also. And my grandson likes minions. We saw at the car show Saturday that we were at, there was a car parked just kind of across and down a little ways from us that had, Jim, did you see that one? It had minions all around it, and you look inside, there was a big minion driving. I mean, there was stuffed animal minions. The car was stuffed full of minions. It was funny.
Oh, wow. Cool.
All right. Mary, you're our general evaluator. Can you introduce your team?
Yes, I will. It is my duty to evaluate the meeting. And I have a team. My timer. Who is the timer?
I will be the timer.
Okay, Jim, will you describe the duties of the timer?
Yes, as timer. As timer. I will be timing all speeches, all table topics, all evaluations. When you've met the minimum time, you'll see green. When you are between halfway between minimum time and overtime, you will see yellow. And then when you've met the maximum time, you'll see the red, and you'll have 30 seconds to wrap it up. I will evaluation, table topics, and speeches. And then I am also the vote counter. So if you will send me your votes, I will send them to the Toastmaster. You'll vote for best, most improved speaker, best speaker, and best table topics. That is my job as the timer. Thank you, Madam General Evaluator.
Okay, Jim, since you're also our grammarian, can you describe that role, please?
Yes, as grammarian, I will be listening for filler words, but, so, if, and, pregnant pauses, and I will also be listening for good phrases that we might hear during table topics. My job as grammarian is also to count how many of you use the word of the day, minion. Minion is an underling of a boss or a leader. That is my job as a grammarian. Thank you very much, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Jim, for describing your role so well. Now I will turn it back to our Toastmaster, Darlene.
Yes. Just one moment here. Next up on our agenda, I believe, is our speaker. And our speaker today is working out of, let's see, Dynamic Leadership Level 3, Inspire Your Audience. And it is Leigh Pinkham Johnston. She is the manager for Indian Lake Campground. Let's listen as she tells us about the buzz about Indian Lake. The title of her speech is Indian Lake Will Be Buzzing This Year. Go for it, Leigh.
Good morning, and thank you for being here today. I'm going to give you a little bit about what is a buzz about Indian Lake this year. I have been managing Indian Lake for a few years now. I think I am the longest running manager of the campground so far. I don't think anybody will ever top this, because it's one of those positions that if you don't say, not it, you get that position. I just happen to be the person that was there and answered the phone. So that's kind of how I ended up with managing Indian Lake Campground. And I do believe I started the position in 2001 as an officer, as just a secretary too. And then maybe about a year and a half later, I ended up managing the campground. And I have been doing it ever since. So between 2002 and 2003 is how long I've been managing the campground. And it's come a long way since I've done and been here. And so far I've enjoyed most of it, about 90% of the time. Part of the other part is finding volunteers. So that's been hard to do at times, especially when I first started. But let's get on with my little speech here. So every year we're supposed to have annual reports and we have goals. So for Indian Lake, I have two goals. One of those goals is to continue to improve camping facilities and seek grant opportunities to upgrade the facilities. And the other is to develop options to increase revenues, including increasing marketing and adding additional special events. And today I'm going to talk about the special events that I have this year. The first event is our Indian Lake Cleanup Day, but with talking to staff, and I like to listen to staff, I am going to have it for a weekend. So let me see if I can figure out how to share my screen. And I have Kimberly Miller, who helps make up our flyers, which is very, very handy to have. So it's not going to be a cleanup day, but we're going to have it over Mother's Day weekend. And what I like to do is some of the mothers that will be there that will help will get a small prize from us. I haven't figured out what that is quite yet. I have a couple of different ideas for that, but it'll be a cleanup weekend, which I'm very excited for because I've got lots of help. And our Facebook page has gotten a lot of people excited about what's going to be going on this year, especially the cleanup weekend. And we've gained some good friends over last year that have come up, and if Jimmy asks them to help with something, they'll go and do it. So that's kind of nice to have people like that go up there and help Jimmy and our volunteers with different things that they need, like heavy lifting, because they're kind of older people that are taking care of the campground. So for Saturday, someone volunteered, which is very exciting. We'll probably have canned chili, but that's beside the point. We are going to have fry bread. Pam Peterson, she used to be a Toastmaster a few years back, so I call her Auntie Pam on our flyer. She's going to make our fry bread for us. So we're excited about that. And I messaged a couple people and they're like, ooh, I've never tried fry bread. So that's kind of something different to bring to the lake and offer to people. Sunday be just maybe a sack lunch. Maybe I'll bring cake or donuts or something. Lunch will be provided on both of those days, and those that volunteer will always get something from us to eat, because who doesn't like to eat? Jim. So I expect to see Jim there, Jim and Darlene. But I also like to give out free camping for those that help volunteer, and they can use it throughout the summer. And we have a limited supplies, so they'll have to either bring supplies, but I'm also taking a list of different jobs that people can do. Like I've talked to one guy and he's a former electrician, and we do need somebody to help us figure out how to get electricity from our generator to our Connex. If you go in the Connex, it's just black. So it's kind of scary just to go in there and it's just black. So you have to take a flashlight. But those are the jobs, kind of things we are looking for in people. And the other thing, let me go to our fish derby, which is our signature event. This is the most popular event we've had, and this has been going on for, this year will be 36 years. It's one of the tribe's longest running events, but we've made it so that it's not so hectic on Saturday. We do some pre-registration on the Friday before Father's Day weekend. And it is always held the day before Father's Day, and that's something to remember. If you ever remember that, you'll remember when our fish derby is every year, unless the pandemic or some other event interferes with that. But one thing that we have come in this year is a guy has volunteered to sell some fishing tackle. So we're excited about that. So I hope you guys can read what's up there on the screen. But our fish derby is Saturday, June 18th, and bring whoever you want, come up for the day. It is very hard to get reservations, but we take reservations for the fish derby, I think on May 18th. But that's just one of the things that we like to do. Let's see. A couple other events that I am planning are new. One is going to be a fish derby for school supplies, and the other is going to be a play day with a movie night in July. 2 ways to keep track of what's going on at the lake is to follow us on Facebook, as well as go to campindianlake.com and follow us there. And the Camp Indian Lake will go to our tribal website, and I don't know, I just typed that into the chat, and I don't know if that will take that there to our website, but Camp Indian Lake is our website. Go to our Facebook page and you will see what events that we hold throughout the year. very excited to get these other two new events going. And I hope to see some of you at our events. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you for all that information about Indian Lake. Sounds like it's going to be a full summer. I thought maybe since you were talking about buzzing that you would also have some beehives. That's my gardener's head thinking there, I guess. And I apologize, my clocks are ringing. I was trying to make sure I was muted while they were ringing, but when I have to speak at the same time, obviously, you have to hear them. Next on our agenda is table topics, and Mary is our table topic. No, LaVonne, excuse me. LaVonne is our table topic master this morning. LaVonne, plow us with some questions. Let us be your minions.
As many times throughout my life, I've felt like a minion. Minions. Well, let's talk about something else. Let's talk about how about cars? I don't have one that is an antique finished, but Darlene, you and Jim do. So tell us about your car that you took to the car show the other day.
Are you asking me or are you asking Jim?
I'm asking Darlene, you.
Okay, fellow Toastmasters, we have a 1966 Oldsmobile Starfire, two-door hardtop. Jim will have to tell you the size of the engine if you're interested in knowing all of those mechanical details. That's I have a girl brain when it comes to cars, so I don't remember all of those things. But we like going to car shows because not only is it fun to have people admiring our car, but it's fun to walk around and look at all the other old cars. Some of them are really quite old, back in like the 1920s or whatever. And some of them are like exquisite. There was one car there, and I don't know how old it was, but it was white, and it was like, I'm gonna guess it was like in the 1920s or 30s. When I looked at it, I could in my mind see a lady with a gown and one of those hats with feathers and, you know, going to a grand ball. It was that fancy of a car. It was just beautiful. And there are some people that paint their cars a brilliant red. And there were even some rat rods there. And a rat rod is a car that's all old and rusty and looks like it should be in a junkyard. Even those are interesting. So yes, old cars are fun. Back to you, Madam Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Darlene. Jim, tell us about the mechanics of your car.
Madam Table Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters, and invisible guests. The mechanics of the car is really interesting in the fact that I used to be a mechanic way back when I was younger, and that's what really got me interested in being a mechanic is the internal workings. What I find interesting, most people just think that you put gas and oil in the car and they'll run forever. But the bad thing with vehicles is there's so many other parts that can break down if you don't take care of your car properly. A car back in the 60s would run over 300,000 miles. Now there's some cars today that will run, they should run at least 100,000 miles before you do anything with them, as long as you change the oil and the make sure that you're putting good gas in them. But one thing that you want to look at, if you ever look under the hood of the car, is you want to look at the belts. And you want to make sure that it has plenty of water in the radiator. And most cars have a water tank that you can actually visibly look and to make sure that there's water there. If there's no water there, then you need to let the engine be cool and take the radiator cap off of the engine radiator. But the most important thing is never let the car run out of oil. When you see that check engine light come on, you need to stop and make sure that the belts are there, make sure it's got oil, and make sure that it's not overheating. The most important thing about the mechanics of a car is make sure the tires are up, you've got plenty of air pressure. Today's cars, they should run a lot longer than 100,000, but now it appears that they will only run 150,000 before you have to do major car work on them. I enjoy working on cars, but I don't do it as much today. It's easier to have someone else do it. Thank you, Madam Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Jim. I was telling Darlene earlier, I had a 51 Plymouth and then another one that was just a few years difference because we were going to restore the first one, but we never got it done. So I finally just sold both of them last year. Very expensive to have them redone by somebody else. Mary, you like cars. What kind of cars do you like?
Oh. My dream car is a Dodge Charger Hellcat. One I'm never going to own, but I can dream it. They have the speed, they have the power. And darn if I wouldn't look cool driving one. With Janice as my partner. Now the color I've been debating on. I don't want a black one because the dust shows up so easily, and knowing me, I don't want the dust on the car. But being life, I would end up with it. So I would have to get a car that would detract from the dust on it. So I would get a purple car with the sparkly paint on it. So that you could, and then just to add to it, now mind you, this is my dream car, so I can do anything I want. I would add pink flames down the side. Yeah, pink. Because I go with purple. And then I could just see myself driving that car down the street, then hitting the freeway and letting her go. Of course, I'd have to stay within the speed limit, which means I would have to have cruise control. So I'd have to put it on cruise control just to stay within the speed limit, because knowing me and a Dodge Charger, you can't go slow. You just can't. So that is my car. The purple sparkly pink flame Dodge Charger. Thank you. Back to you, Madam Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Mary. That was quite colorful. I had a pearly white color mix paint. I wanted to do a pearly white with the burgundy interior. So purple with pink flames sounds like it would be fun to drive. See, do we have time for more? I think we've got Leigh. Leigh, do you have a favorite old or new car? Brand? Style?
Good morning, and thank you, Madam Table Topics Master, for that question. My favorite car right now is my 2017 Jeep Grand Cherokee. My husband and I were debating on what we wanted to get. Dodge Durango, because I wanted a third row seat. But he found out it wasn't four-wheel drive, which is the all-wheel drive type vehicle. So we went to the Dodge dealership and talked to his friend, and he had this 2017 Jeep Grand Cherokee, which looks black in the shade or when it's cloudy days, but when it's sunny, it's kind of got a purplish, bluish tint to it, which makes it really pretty during the summer hot days. But that's my favorite car. I like it because it has a backup camera. If you do not have a backup camera in any of your newer vehicles, it's something that you really need, because it's very, 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 very nice to have that when you back up. Especially because it's a little bit wider than the little Nissan that I used to drive around, and it just so much nicer to back up, and it'll stop itself too if it thinks something's going to hit us, but it also will give me beeping noises if something's coming by, so I don't really have to see back there, but it knows about danger. But that's nice about having the Jeep Grand Cherokee, is having the backup camera. And I am prior to my husband, who knows all about cars, and he helps me keep up on all of that stuff, or he does all that work. I'm the minion. Thank you.
Thank you, Leigh. That was interesting. I had a Jeep Wrangler for quite a while, and it was fun when I was younger, but it got to be too hard to get in and out of, so I sold it this year as well. Okay, I think I covered everybody that's here.
No, Beth is here. Give Beth a table
Beth
topic.
is here?
Yes.
Question.
Well, hi, Beth. I'm on my little phone, so I don't see everybody at once. I'm down here in Medford visiting grandbaby and daughter and son-in-law. Beth, we're talking about cars today, old or new. Do you have a favorite car, pickup, whatever?
Morning, fellow Toastmasters. One of my favorites is a Dodge Charger. I've been able to rent that a number of times recently, and that's a lot of fun. I must admit, I really like anything that goes vroom and has a lot of power. I grew up in that era where, man, I'll just go to a car show just to listen, and it will make my day. But I own my son, Bill gave it to Jason, but a 55 Ford panel that Bill and I used to date in, and I currently have for quite a while, for years and years. A 78 Ford Ranger pickup, crew cab. That was Bill's truck that, we'll keep forever. Before that, we had 77 Ford, and obviously we are Ford people, although I gave into that Dodge Charger, one of those. I really enjoy old classic cars, but I think it's just because of that era. And I know they're trying to bring some of them back, and that's obviously the ones I've been driving, but still nothing like those older ones and those car shows where everybody's shirt turns on their motors and the blood starts flowing, and just get you back in those years where you were having a lot of fun. And when you used to date in those kind of cars, that was pretty awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Beth, for that information. I had a thought and I forgot what it was.
Wow.
Well, Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Yes, and let's turn it over to our general evaluator.
Why, thank you. Yes, Beth, those Dodge Chargers are a lot of fun to drive, aren't they? Yeah, if I wasn't retired and I was making good money, I'd be having me a Dodge Charger. I used to own a Dodge Charger. I was a minion to that Dodge Charger. It was a taxi cab yellow Dodge Charger with a 383 engine in it. And when you put your foot to the gas, man, that baby would go. I had to get rid of it because I almost got in an accident with it. And they said, you're speeding too much. So instead, I got me a Plymouth Fury. That was a sweet car, two-door. Wasn't a Dodge Charger, but the Plymouth Fury back in the day, whoa, yeah. She got me where I wanted to go. So yeah, I'm a minion of Dodges. I'm a Dodge girl, but I own a Toyota. So now I will have Darlene evaluate Leigh's speech. Go ahead, Darlene.
Yes, fellow Toastmasters, and most especially Leigh. Well, I really enjoyed your speech. You start out very clear and concise. You have a good voice for speaking. It's your tone quality is easy to listen to, and I like that. You piqued our interest right away because you were talking about something that we maybe could do. It was kind of like an unwritten challenge for us to come out to Indian Lake and enjoy all the events that you're planning. You had good organization of the material that you were presenting to us. And I liked the way that you used your share screen, your technology, in order to show us your posters that went along with the cleanup day, the cleanup weekend, and the fishing derby. It was good to see those posters. Things that you could improve on. I liked your gestures. Most of them were very centered, kind of like right in here, but occasionally they kind of got down where we only saw your fingertips. But the ones that we could see were, I like the idea that they were centered. I tend to put my gestures out here, but yours were right in the center, and I like that because it really added your passion to the speech, what you were talking about. It showed that you put your heart into what you were doing. Your eye contact was good most of the time. I did notice, however, and I do the same thing, when you were thinking about what to say next, you tend to look kind of at the ceiling. And so maybe as you're thinking, think about what to do with your eyes so that we can't tell that you're thinking, because sometimes those pauses help us to be able to assimilate what you've already said. But if you look like you're thinking, then we get a little nervous, hoping that you can remember what you're going to say. But there weren't very many of those. And as you got on toward the end of your speech, the thinking moments became less and less, and you were more involved in what you were saying. So you were comfortable with us, and we were comfortable with you. You were very, very knowledgeable about what you were talking about. And I liked that you listened to your staff. I liked that you were listening to your minions to help you make decisions about what to do at Indian Lake during this summer. Your speech was excellent. And anytime you talk about Indian Lake, I enjoy listening to what you have to tell us. Thank you very much. And I'm anxious to hear your next speech, no matter what it's about. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Okay, thank you. Don't forget to send your votes to Jim, our timer, so we can get that taken care of as well. And as a minion, I will now ask for reports. So, Jim, will you give us the timer's report?
Thank you very much, Madam General Evaluator. Yes, be sure and send me your votes. I will give the grammarian's report first. That might give some other people to a chance to say the word minion. The word of the day was minion. The good phrases that I heard, well, and some of the ones that I thought were different was in Mary's table topic. She said she didn't want a black Dodge Charger because of the dirt, but I found interesting that she would have a purple Charger with pink stripes. I don't know. That's just something that if someone gave me that car, I would probably repaint it. But I do like Dodge Chargers because yes, they do go fast. I had a Roadrunner with a police engine in it. We did really well on our ums and ahs. There was another phrase that I think that should be tattooed on all you ladies. I think it would help the guys get along with you much better, is if you tattooed the word girl brains. I found that really interesting that someone even would admit that they have a girl brain, because yes, it is much different than us smart guys. One thing that I really like about the virtual meetings, Zoom meetings, is when I make a comment, that I know some of you ladies think I should be bopped on the head. Guess what? You can't do it. You can't do it. And that's one thing I fear when we go into our live meetings, our in-person meetings. I'm sure you guys are going to try to make up for the comments that I've made. However, because you girls, ladies have girl brains, I know you will forget what I said, hopefully. And then another word that we haven't used or heard very much is exquisite. And that's a hard word to say. It's a mouthful. One thing that I thought Darlene might have mentioned is she mentioned a rat rod. And it's a dirty old vehicle. I mean, it looks like it came right out of a wheat field or came right out of the woods. And there was this one rat rod that on the hood, there's an actual rat on the hood. And it's not live, but if you look at it and you glance at it, it does look alive. So you got to go to these car shows and see these rat rods because they are different. The Wizard of Oz, I will send that to our Toastmaster Beth. And the word of the day, I will say that we did really well today. I used it 11 times, but that doesn't count because I gave you the word of the day. Mary used it 3 times. LaVonne used it twice. Leigh used it 3 times. And Darlene is actually the winner because she used it 10. No, she's at 9 times. So please send in your votes so that I can give the Toastmaster Beth the winners of the other, especially for table topic and most improved. Be sure and send me who the most improved And then I will pass that on to Beth. Madam General Evaluator. Oh, I guess I should give the times, shouldn't I? The times. Leigh's speech was 7 minutes. Table topics. Mary was 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Darlene was 2 minutes. Beth was 1 minute and 30 seconds. And Leigh for table topics, I wrote her down here. Leigh was 2 minutes right on the button. And I was 2 minutes and 22 seconds. And the evaluator's time was 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Did I get everybody for table topics? I think I did. That is my report, Madam General Evaluator. Be sure and get me your best table topics. Thank you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you. Now for my report. President started about a minute late, but we did good time. Everybody did a good job. It was good to see everybody. So now I will turn it back to our Toastmaster, Beth Reed.
Thank you, Mary. I do not have all of the awards yet. I assume I'll be getting those shortly.
Yes, I will get them to you.
I know a couple of them. I know Best Speaker went to Leigh and Best Evaluator went to Darlene. I know Darlene also won Word of the Day. The least ums and ahs went to me. I guess that's what happens when you show up late. You don't get the opportunity to say it so many times. I guess we're just really missing table topics and most improved. I didn't realize Dodge Chargers were so popular for the table topics. That's cool. I had the opportunity to rent one at one of my trips, and my coworker went out and had the teeny tiny tin can. And when we would go places, at first it was fun to say, well, maybe you want to go with me in my car, I'll drive. And then to watch the eyes as they went, oh, how'd you get that? I said, well, you know, it does say whatever full size or better. If you ask for the or better, maybe you'll get a really cool car. So that was kind of fun. So that's how I've had the opportunity for the Chargers lately, which seem to be very popular. Best table topic goes to Mary, and most improved today goes to LaVonne. And those are our winners for the day. I will go ahead and turn it back then to Mary for our closing remarks. Mary, take it away.
Okay, thank you. We all had a very good meeting today. Good to see you, Beth. It's always better to be late because things sometimes just get in the way.
Or alarms don't go off.
Oh, that's true.
Because you forget to set them.
I've done that before.
Yes.
I've done that before. So shall we set up for next week's meeting for roles, please?
Yes, we need a Toastmaster, a general evaluator. Yeah, well, actually, just about it. The only job that's already filled is grammarian. So everything else is up for grabs.
I can do table topics.
Mary for table topics.
And I can be general evaluator.
Jim for general evaluator.
Let's put Greg down for timer because he had to haul cattle this morning. So let's put him down for timer again.
Okay. LaVonne, you're sideways in case you
Sorry, I am on mute. I could be Toastmaster.
All righty. LaVonne for Toastmaster. Do you have a theme for us?
No, I keep forgetting we need themes.
Well, you can think about it and let us know later. Let's
How
see.
about Mayflowers?
That's that according to what I've got written down here, that is the theme for May 10th. So we don't necessarily want the same theme 2
Well,
weeks.
she can,
ago.
Okay.
we can change that. I mean, May 10th doesn't have to be Mayflowers.
We do
Okay,
Mother's Day
well,
or
let's-
something.
Yeah,
No,
Mother's Day.
Yeah, okay, so let's do Mayflowers for the 3rd, flowers, and Mother's Day for the 10th.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, got it. All right, so we need a speaker and an evaluator, and we need joke, quote, and word of the day.
I can do word of the day as well.
Okay, Mary for word of the day.
I can do joke and quote, evaluator, whatever you want.
So
Okay,
Beth has joke and quote and word of the, and evaluator.
Sure.
yeah, so we need someone to give a speech so she has something to evaluate. Jim, it's been a while since we've heard you. Or LaVonne, we haven't heard about
Oh,
some kind of didn't you take a trip?
I may have to back out. It looks like I might be teaching a class at 8 o'clock, which means I'm on it. Means I have to be on by 7:30. Yeah, I can do things at the front.
Yeah, so you should still be okay for joke and quote.
Yeah, I just have to head out a little early. Glad I looked.
Yeah,
Maybe
so
they'll cancel it.
we can take you off of evaluator because that's later in the
Yeah.
meeting.
Yeah.
Just leave you for joke and quote. Okay, so we need a speaker and an evaluator. Jim, I was trying to twist your arm.
Yeah, I can go and give a speech next week.
Okay. Jim for speaker.
Who's
Who
that,
was
grammarian?
That's all right.
I was gonna do grammarian, but if you want to do grammarian, I can be Jim's evaluator.
So Toastmaster and grammarian?
Yeah, if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
That's why we need more members so that we don't have to double duty on things.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that actually takes care of us for next week. Be sure to go on Free Toast Toast and sign up and go for, scroll forward for several weeks too, so that you know in advance what you plan to do.
Okay. So we've got the roles filled.
Yes, back to you, Mary.
Okay, so any announcements that we need to make?
No, but I'm curious, how did you participate, Beth, in the contest?
I did, and I think my evaluation was awesome. I did a good job.
Okay,
It was a wonderful pick, and I think I did a really, really good job. I apparently didn't see the red on time, and I went over.
Oh.
By, I would guess,
Huh.
not by much. I haven't heard how much, but I would guess if anything, it's only maybe 1 second. 2. It was, and that's only because at the end I kind of repeated something that I didn't need to repeat. And I had computer issues, so I had backups. It died luckily after I was done. So I was on an iPad and I started to cry. So hopefully they didn't see that. Extremely disappointed. I don't know if the people that go before me, I've always drawn the third slot, get to hear what people do. The rest of the people, I don't know. But I suspect I probably would have had first. It was a good one. I've lucked out. I've had the speakers have been excellent, and the topics, and you can just get into the evaluation. And this was about baseball. It was wonderful. Ed Riker was the speaker, and it was a story type grandfatherly thing from a kid on, and did it to myself because I'm pretty darn sure I probably would have had first.
Yeah, I'm sure you would have too, because your evaluations are always excellent, even when they're too long.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, if I'd known I was going to go over, hell, I should have really done it. Anyways, I got a couple of comments, but if you hear any, like how far I went over or anything at all, I'd love to hear them. And I'm extremely disappointed.
Well, I'm thinking you should be able to find out from the judge on how much you went over. I mean, because and that's usually you go ahead, Darlene.
Well, I'm thinking at some point Karen Mobley is going to send me a link to post the video of the contest on the webpage, and maybe just by listening we could tell, but she hasn't sent that to me yet, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's good contest.
And let's give Beth a good hand.
Yes, we love you.
Sorry to disappoint. I think
Hey, I know it's only ourselves that we disappoint when we don't quite meet our own expectations, and we've all been there. Not necessarily with speech contests, but just in general in life, we've all been there.
Yeah, we have.
Yep.
I know I have. You'll get through this, Beth. You will.
Yeah.
Especially when you've got us backing you up.
Yep.
We got you six.
Guys,
Yes, and there's always next year. Next year, I think you ought to try for international speech.
Valuation was kind of neat. You didn't have to have any prep. That was kind of cool. You just kind of go over, okay, here's, I want to organize it. And boy, they give you just, if most of you don't know, they do the speech, you all hear the speech, and then boom, they give you 5 minutes to organize it. And that's it. And that 5 minutes goes by in an absolute flash. And they don't give you a warning as, okay, 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes. I know on their side, timer-wise, they're getting that, but we aren't getting that as a contestant. And to organize a whole, basically professional speech in 5 minutes is a skill, I think.
Yeah.
The first time that those minutes just went, it's like, what? What? That was my 1 minute warning. This time I knew, so and I was done. I was done in time. It was okay. I don't have to write down everything because I'm only going to mention so many gestures and that's it. And so I was better prepared for that part. But boy, 5 minutes to organize a speech, and you may not look at your paper after you're done. 5 minutes, that's it. You have to sit and look at the judge, and your hands are here, and that's it. So in your mind, you're going, what did I write? What did I write? It was interesting. I think it's probably a lot easier than the speech. Well, I know that because I've been in speech, but it's nice to not have to really do all that preparation. I must admit.
That's true.
Yeah, but I'm very Very glad I participated.
We're very glad you participated as well. Thank you. Okay, if there's nothing else. Okay, let's adjourn the meeting at 7:41. You guys all have an awesome week and we'll see you next week.
All righty.
Yeah.
Bye.
Where Leigh- You might have to kick me out. I don't know where leave is on my.
Okay, I'll go ahead and do it.